statistics. In summary, you're saying it's good, based on merit.
It's definitely based on merit. I can give you an example of Caesar, for instance. I think that time Caesar was top scorer in the league.
Yeah. Yes.
Was top scorer in the league, and he had a couple of good, seasons. Again, I mean, he approached us, and we, talked to him about, joining City Oilers. And at that time, I think we had lost a few players who had left the team, and we needed to fill up that position. And Caesar, happened to be
the opportune time.
Yeah, and again, because he joined City Oilers, and but we can't really, take away what he had done. Just because he's joining City Oilers,
I have interesting questions here for you from there's a gentleman, Stephen Odeke, saying, why doesn't the national team coaching staff ask for players to come for trials and then they choose?
Okay.
He has a very, because I believe other countries also try to use that approach. Where they call players for trial.
That's a very good
chance to actually be silverback jersey.
Well, it's a very good question, and as a coach, I support it. I would love to see as many players try out. The challenge that we've been facing is that a lot to do with finances, first of all.
We just concluded the Afrobasket in Kigali, Rwanda, sometime in August until the 5th of September, where our team performed very well and finishing number 6 out of the 16 teams. That was a very tremendous achievement for us in the history of Ugandan basketball. And when we go into the World Cup qualifiers, at the end of the day, it is the top 5 teams that qualify for the World Cup. And we believe that being number 6 on the continent gives us a very good chance to be among the top 5 and qualify for the World Cup. We are very positive, and we believe that this is something that we can achieve if we plan, prepare very well, and if we are well facilitated by the government of Uganda. We are in our group, we have Uganda, Nigeria, Cape Verde, and Mali. These are teams that we've played before, and these are teams that we know we can beat if we prepare well. Remember, in the AfroBasket finals, we beat Nigeria, the #1 ranked country in Africa. So the gap is no longer huge as it used to be during those old days. So we can compete and actually qualify for the World Cup. The World Cup qualifiers are divided into 2 windows. The first window will happen in Benguela, Angola, between the 26th to the 28th of November, where we shall play those teams, Nigeria, Cape Verde, and Mali. Then we shall have a second window next year in July. The first week of July, the venue is yet to be named. After that, the top 3 teams in the group qualify to the next round. And then at that level, they will again make other groups where the top team in each group will then qualify for the World Cup. And as I said, we believe that we can make this dream happen and qualify for the World Cup for the first time in the history of Uganda's basketball.
Good afternoon. It is yet another episode of Slam Dunk Basketball Talk, a show where we discuss, analyze, give you the latest updates on what is happening in the game of basketball, both internationally and here down in Uganda. My name is Felix Eupal, and I'm with my co-host Emmanuel Ateng. Emma, how has the week been so far?
Week has been good. The invite tournament still running. Had a couple of games. Today we don't have a game, so I'm here full time. Yeah, but the week has been really good. Glad to be back.
Hopefully Falcons can shake up some trees. And in studio with us this particular afternoon is Coach Mande Juruni. Many of you know him and you have seen him. He's someone who has won the title 7 times with City Oilers, and also he is a coach of our Silverbacks. Just at the start of the show, you were watching a video clip of the press conference when they were announcing the Silverbacks getting ready for the World Cup qualifiers. Coach Mande, welcome to Slam Dunk Basketball, and thank you so much for gracing us with your time.
Thank you. Happy to be here. It's my first time to be here. And, every time there's a chance to talk about basketball, just gives me a lot of joy to come and talk about the game.
Well, there are so many things and a lot of press statements, a lot of questions from the public when the announcement was made that the Silverbacks will be taking part in the Basketball World Cup qualifiers, which are meant to happen in Angola, and who none other than you, the coach of the team, to be here to explain to the viewers out there what exactly is happening, how the team is preparing. Remember, to the viewers out there, we are live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on our website, houseoftalentug.com. So, Coach Mande, let's start with the new changes on the team.
National team Silverbacks has been involved in international games. Remember, we had AfroBasket qualifiers during this time of the pandemic. Then we had the AfroBasket down in Kigali, and during that time there was a draw for the World Cup qualifiers. So this is going to be our second time to play the qualifiers. I remember in 2019 we were involved in the World Cup qualifiers. So we were drawn in Group C. We have Nigeria, we have Mali, we have Cape Verde. These are teams that we've been playing, very respectable on the continent. And as Silverbacks, as Uganda, we are happy to be involved in international games like these. I can tell you, back in the day, we never even dream of playing such games.
Being at such a stage.
Yeah. So us being in these games and being on international television, it's a very big opportunity for basketball and young players out there. So this is really good for us, and we are happy to be involved.
In terms of inclusions and exclusions?
We are playing 2 windows. The first window is going to be this month, and second window is going to be in July for Group A and C. Unfortunately, it also comes a time where the NBA, for instance, is ongoing. College basketball is ongoing.
Yes.
So definitely that means that some of the players are not able to make it just because of those clashes. But like I said in the press conference, that we have over 30 players on our roster. Sometimes we're not going to be able to have certain players, so we have to fill up those positions that those players that are missing. So again, this time I know we don't have 4 players from the squad that played Afrobasket. We have Ish, who is playing in the NBA. Definitely can't make it. He's also still trying to establish himself in the team. So we wouldn't want to get away.
To disrupt that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely college basketball, they can't let their players leave their program to come and play this tournament. So again, as a team, as a management, we wanted to let those players concentrate out there, and that gives a chance to the other players to come in and try and fill up those positions.
Try and fill up those positions.
Yeah.
Emma, to the players that were going to miss, and was the talk of Brandon Davis coming back. What is your take on that?
Well, let me first say, when all of us at that Ish wasn't going to make it, I believe that a lot of hearts were broken.
Well, social media was filled with Facebook comments of our chances dropping by like 60%.
Yeah.
Because Ishmael Wainwright is not going to be here, and he's been very pivotal to the Silverbacks.
Yeah, so him not exactly being dropped, is just he didn't have time with his busy schedule in the NBA with the Phoenix Suns. And Brandon Davis has played for us before. Very good player, was very instrumental for us in 2019. And I believe that he brings a lot of experience to the team. So I know that having Ish not being there, it creates a gap. But then again, like Coach said, it gives an opportunity, for other players. I mean, we have 30 players on the roster. So we would never know how other players would fit in if we don't give them a chance. So Brandon Davis coming back, it's a good opportunity for us and also for other players. I believe that Coach will be, there's a player that is coming whom we all don't know about, but I believe that Coach will explain more about him.
He'll break it down much further as the show goes on. Or he might not want to release surprises.
There's that too.
It might be like scouting for the other teams in the group. Right?
Not really. Actually, just to talk about Ish not being on the team this time around. Like I said, opportunity for other players to step up. Definitely you miss Ish, you miss his services, as a player. But you know, when you're coaching, you've got to know the strength that you have at the time. And him not being on the team and Brandon coming in, these are two, you know, different players. You know, they might be playing the same position, but they have different strengths. So as a coach, you've got to see that and try to build your team around that. We don't want to say, oh, she's not around, so we're done. You know, because at the end of the day, this is a team.
Yeah.
I think that is something that we have been building to have a team that plays together and try to get, you know, different, you know, abilities, different, you know, strengths and put it together and go and play basketball.
Among the new additions that were added is Ivan Muhwezi, who plays for still your team, City Oil, and also Fayed Bale, that he was added on the team previously, then he was dropped. Let's start with Emma. In terms of size.
Yeah, when it comes to international competitions, obviously size plays a very big part. Okay, if you look at a player like Bale Fayed, okay, excellent point guard, very good at what he does, but the downside is that size there will play a very big role. But then again, there's a saying that it's not the size of the dog in the fight.
The fight in the dog.
Yeah, so with a young player like Bale coming to the national team, it gives an opportunity for him as a player to improve on certain skills. We have had players in the NBA, Nate Robinson, and you know, Spud Webb, all small guys, Chris Paul, but they're making an impact in what they're doing.
Yes.
So there are certain things that you can do to make up for your size or your height, okay, which I believe that his inclusion in the national team is going to be worked upon. He has a good coaching staff around him. He has good players around him, international players also, who can actually give him, you know, the skills and the opportunity to explore what he has and to use it to make himself a better player and also to fit right into the national team. So obviously size is a big issue, but there are certain things you can do to overcome such a barrier.
Coach, there's always been a question of the criteria that is based on when selecting the national team players. What is that criteria?
Well, before I talk about that, I just want to first address that issue of size.
Yes.
Definitely basketball size is important, but you know, basketball has really changed. We've seen teams that play small and still go big, you know, big teams.
Yeah, definitely.
There's always an advantage, you know. Again, it's just knowing just the strength of your team and play with that. Okay, I've been involved in situations where we are bigger than the other team, but they use their advantage and we can't.
They flip the situation.
Yeah, and we can't play. But if you look at our team, we believe we have the pieces that can compete, you know, against, you know, any bigger team out there. I'm trying to look at Afrobasket, in particular Cape Verde.
And we're in the same group with Cape Verde still.
Yes, whereby they had a 7-3 Tavares, and definitely caused a lot of problems to us. And him being there changed a lot, changed our scheme of defense, and it opened up, you know, their offense, because most of the time, you know, we're trying to you know, help because we had, you know, our biggest player was 6'7", okay, that was Deng, and we had a 6'5" Oxy who actually managed to slow him down because of his strength. But you know, we've tried to look at that, and if you look at Brandon Davis, he's a 6'10" forward. He plays in Barcelona. Tavares plays in Real Madrid. These are players who know each other. And I can tell you that I've watched a couple of games, Brandon taking on Tavares, and you know, it's been a very good matchup.
Well, it is going to be quite interesting.
Yeah. So I mean, we have Titus, who is a 6'8", you know, 6'9". We have, you know, Hakim, who is a 6'10". player. We have Ox who is 6'5", but believe me, Ox can take on any guy.
Yeah.
Okay, because of his strength and his firepower in him. So if you look at our team, we have pieces that can try and back the bigger players, but we try as much as possible to look at our strength as a country,
as the Silverbacks.
Yeah, as Silverbacks, and I think that's what has been really driving us.
Well,
we've not been the biggest team in any competition that we played, but believe me,
we're no longer considered
we've
underdogs.
competed so well. Yeah. Yeah.
It is SlamDunk Basketball. Felix Eupal is my name. I'm with Coach Mande Juruni, and we're talking the Silverbacks and how they're preparing for the World Cup qualifiers. We'll return after this short break, and feel free to send your comments, your questions. We'll be reading them out when we come back after this short break.
First and foremost, thank you very much for hosting me. I'm really, really humbled, and I'm blessed to be here. Yeah, surely. Talking about basketball, personally, my journey of basketball started from far, very, very far. That was in high school, and in a situation whereby we did not have enough exposure. We didn't have coaches. We didn't have the facilities like we do have them right now. Although I'm saying this like there's so many years ago, there are not so many. That was about, I began knowing basketball in 2007. That was at KPC when I was in P7 vacation. That is end of 2007 actually, that KPC North. That's when I first touched the basketball. Then 2008 when I joined Namilyango in Senior 1. I saw people playing. Actually, the people whom I saw there playing and inspired me were Sally of, he played for Chambogo Warriors, if you remember him.
The left-handed.
Yes, and Omongin. Omongin, last I saw him playing for City Oil. Those were the guys whom I found in Namilyango. I was in Senior 1. These guys were playing basketball at another level. And we would actually just go there to watch them. For us by that time, they couldn't allow you to step on the basketball court that those guys are on, because they were senior 6s, you are a senior 1. You just the best you can do is watch. Other than that, you don't step there. But nonetheless, that's where I started. Beautifully, or I would say lucky for me, that when I was playing with those guys, once in a while when they could see me about midday 1, when the sun is very hot, when they are still resting and waiting to come. So when we would go to court and try a few shots here and there, and then they would come and they meet us, they would see what we are doing, and they would identify talent. I don't know if I can use that one. So one or another, they identified my talent. They realized I could at least throw in the ball. At any sport, they would just give it to me. Although I was weak, I didn't know how to bounce. They only told me one thing: throw in the ball. And throwing in the ball gave me an opportunity to play with them. When I was in Senior 1, Senior 2. But still, of course, I still had people who didn't believe in me, and it was challenging.
Welcome back to the second part of SlamDunk Basketball Talk. We are here with Coach Mande Juruni, the coach of the Silverbacks and also the head coach of the City Oilers, the record 7-time champions. Coach, before we went for the break, we were discussing the question of the criteria that is taken and undergone in selecting the players who make the final cut on the Silverbacks.
We have a team. Technical team, we sit together and look at all these players. Obviously, as a coach, you watch most of these players, and also look at your team and see what you want to be as a team, what you want from a player. So all those come into play. if I'm looking at these last 2 years, I think this is the time where, as a Silverbacks, we've played so many international games, and it's the same time we've not been playing any active basketball the last 2 years. So it has been quite tricky getting players. But to answer that, it's mainly about how you're playing for your club, statistics, and what we need in the team, what we are lacking.
Okay.
If you look at Silverbacks last 2, 3, 4 years, we've been getting in some foreign-based players, and we try to get these players to come and reinforce the team, and especially in the positions that I know we lack as a country here in Uganda. Before that, we lacked a lot of size, and we brought in Ochiti, who was like 6'8", big. We brought in Brandon Sebirumbi. We had a 6'10" naturalized American, and those helped us, competing better in Africa.
Okay.
And our first time, at least, we matched up pretty well in that. But we also learned a lot that we don't have good shooting team, so we need to try and recruit players who can shoot, and we scouted in Robinson and Eric and all these guys, and you can see that our team has really improved in that aspect. In fact, in the last qualifiers of World Cup in 2019, Uganda was ranked number 2 in the whole Africa in terms of offense, efficiency. And then we had 2 players who are the top offensive players in the whole continent.
In the whole continent.
Yeah, that was
efficiency-wise.
and points scored. That was Robinson and Jimmy Enabo.
Robinson,
Opong,
yes.
And Jimmy Enabo. So us playing these international games, it really helps us to know which kind of players, which positions that we are lacking, and of course that plays in a lot in trying to get players onto the roster. But at the same time, we also want to help our players back home to get on the team and feel that they are part of the team. And if you see, we always have more players at home than our foreign-based players. We normally call in maybe 5 or 6 players.
Local-based players.
But the local-based players are normally 7 or even 8 sometimes. So I think that plays in, a lot with getting players.
Brings in a blend of both of them coming in together.
Yes.
I have very interesting questions here in my inbox. One of them is one that I've been discussing for quite some time. Coach Mande, someone here called Chisavira Ambra is asking, does someone have to be part of City Oil to actually make the Silverback team? It's something that has been, it's a discussion which people have always been having, because you have Jimmy Enabu, Ben Komakech, James Okelo, Ivan Muhwezi, all from City Oil. So please help address some of the comments as we go on.
Well, I don't think it's true that you have to be a City Oil player to be on the team.
You've also been hearing that conversation. And it also, remember the time when news came out that Cesar Chizito was joining City Oilers. He was also added onto, he was called onto actually that discussion started from there mostly.
Well, I don't think it's true. I think we've had so many players on the team who are non-City Oil players. I can tell you maybe 10 just in the back of my mind who are non-City Oil players who are on the team. They might not be on the squad now, but they are on the roster. On our roster. We've had so many players. I mean, players like Ivan, players like Chiviri, you know, Cyrus, you know, Ikong before he joined City Oil. Mark, you know, we've had quite a number of players who City Oilers. At the moment, we have more players on the City Oilers team for so many reasons.
Which are some of those reasons?
Yeah, one. I mean,
sure many of our viewers out there would love to know.
Well, if you look at City Oilers, I mean, we've been, you know, champions for the last, you know, 7 years, and I can tell you that it's because of you know, the players that we have on the team, and I would say that we have, you know, some of the best players in the Ugandan league, you know, on the City Oil. So as a coach, you want to pick your best players in the country to play, and I will not say it is unfortunate that they all come from City Oil, but you know, a lot of those players, you know, are City Oilers, and I really, you know, don't want to see it that because I'm a City Oilers coach and management is City Oilers, it's just purely on statistics.
In summary, you're saying it's purely based on merit.
It's definitely based on merit. I can give you an example of Caesar, for instance. I think that time Caesar was top scorer in the league.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was top scorer in the league, and he had a couple of good, you know, seasons. Again, I mean, he approached us, and we, you know, talked to him about, you know, joining City Oilers. And at that time, I think we had lost a few players who had left the team, and we needed to fill up that position, and you know, Caesar, you know, happened to be
the opportune time.
Yeah, and again, because he joined City Oilers, and but we can't really, you know, take away what he had done, just because he's joining City Oilers, you know.
True.
I have interesting questions here for you from there's a gentleman, Stephen Odeke, saying, why doesn't the national team coaching staff ask for players to come for trials and then they choose?
Okay.
He has a very, because I believe other countries also try to use that approach, where they call players for trial.
Yeah. That's a very good
chance to actually be silverback jersey.
Well, it's a very good question, and as a coach, I support it. I would love to see as many players try out. The challenge that we've been facing is that a lot to do with finances, first of all. If you're calling in 30 players, as a federation, you know, you've got to be able to be ready to do that, to finance them. Secondly, most of the time when we group as a national team, we have 2 weeks or even less than 2 weeks into a championship. So as a coach, you're like, if I get 30 players to come and try out, and the tournament is in 10 days, what am I trying to achieve here?
So you'd rather... Emma, what is your take on that?
My take on that is it's a good idea because we have very many players in the country who would want to don that jersey, but like he said, sometimes the structure does not allow you to do it. First of all, when it comes into play, FUBA has always had financial issues, so that is one of the things that will come into play. The other one is that we always have limited time to prepare. Okay, but I think what should be done is FUBA as a body itself should create a structure whereby there's always there's always, let's say, a camp that happens, okay, where all these other players can actually come through. All right, it would be easier for the coaches to actually select them from there. Something like, let's say, an NBA draft combine, but the Ugandan way. okay, it would actually be easier for the coaches to select players that way, because then you'd have a lot of time. It's not like I have 2 weeks to the tournament, okay? You'd have a whole year running, and you can select different players, you know, as the time goes, and these players can feed into the national team. So it's something that FUBA itself should look into to make the coaches' work way easier.
Well, FUBA has so many things on its plate. First of all, we have not had an AGM, then the league starting up next year again afresh. I believe Hudson, the general secretary, has too much to chew on his plate. Remember, we still don't have a CEO who was, which job was advertised. So, so many things yet coming up. To Coach Mande, please tell us about Wamala Emmanuel. I saw a name that we have not been seeing on the Silverback team.
I can tell you that there are so many players that you don't know that are on the team. But this time around, we call Emmanuel Wamala. He's a player that we've been following, you know, the last 2 years. Again, national team committee, we have our scout in Ahawe Albert, who really does a very good job scouting these Ugandans out there. So Wamala, you know, we've been following him even when he was 16 years old, and even the time when he was playing for Bayern Munich, the second team of Bayern Munich in the German league. He's always wanted to be on the team, so an opportunity came when we were missing a few players, so we called him. So this is going to be his first call up on the national team. An opportunity for him to show us, you know, his abilities, what he can bring, how he can help the team. And you know, we're all excited to have him and see how much he's going to contribute to the team.
Yes, we are live on Facebook, on Twitter, and on YouTube. Feel free to send more questions, more comments to Coach Mande Juruni as we prepare for the World Cup qualifiers. We will be returning to discuss more about the Silverbacks and the City Oilers, who are also going to be going for the second round of the Basketball Africa League in December.
The whole world is undergoing a credit crunch.
Yeah.
The difference between Uganda and other countries is for us to talk about it, and the president doesn't talk about it. Other countries don't talk about it.
Yeah.
If you realize previously, we've been able to get through our manager because of his social capital.
Yeah.
Chantul would get money, and teams to travel. Even when the government has given them money, the team has traveled. Then the government will pay slowly, and then clear that. But right now, this was facing everywhere, and this is the time where we also got Olympics coming through.
Yeah.
As FUBA, we submitted our budgets for all our calendar submitted there. But you understand right now, financially, everything's been cut down for 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
We had to struggle. And so remember, on a basketball, she has to travel. Everyone has to travel.
Yeah.
But the key thing is ownership of everybody. Like I can tell you, under 16, 4 days to the team traveling.
Yeah. When
you go to another, the boys can't travel because of social capital which we have. And I was able to reach one of the parents whose son was playing under 16, who's the captain under 16.
Yeah.
And because of that, she said, "No way, my boy can be in the camp for these few days, but also a few days. They're only there for." The boys actually did only 3 days camp. So because there was no money, I'm not sure if the government is going to give you or not, because of everything going on, preparation becomes very poor. And if you've seen before the lockdown, with other things we had before, our teams have been preparing. And if you've seen we're taking over the Kenyan national team, all those in the region.
Yeah.
Rwanda is in Afro, first of all, because they're hosting. You know, but Uganda, we have to go through the hard way to be there. That's something which is very key for us. So the key thing, what I'm talking about, what I'm requesting is all stakeholders in Uganda, Coca-Cola, you make a lot of money in Uganda. Hima Cement, you make a lot of money in Uganda. Total, Shell, all these banks, they make money in Uganda, a lot of money in Uganda.
Yeah.
Their willingness to give back to community. I know we can, through the sports development, we can ask the government that whoever is giving support in the sports area, we give back.
Yeah.
Maybe you can get a tax holiday. So there we'll have continuity.
First and foremost, thank you very much for hosting me. I'm really, really humbled, and I'm blessed to be here. Yeah, surely. Talking about basketball, personally, my journey of basketball started from far, very, very far. That was in high school, and in a situation whereby we did not have enough exposure. We didn't have coaches. We didn't have the facilities like we do have them right now. Although I'm saying this like there's so many years ago, there are not so many. That was about, I began knowing basketball in 2007. That was at KPC when I was in P7 vacation. That is end of 2007 actually, that KPC North. That's when I first touched basketball. Then 2008 when I joined Namilyango in Senior 1. I saw people playing. Actually, the people whom I saw there playing and inspired me were Sally who played for Chambogo Warriors. Do you remember him?
The left-handed.
Yes. And Omongin. Last I saw him playing for City Oil. Those were the guys whom I found in Namilyango. I was in Senior 1. These guys were playing basketball at another level. And we would actually just go there to watch them. You know, for us by that time, they couldn't allow you to step on the basketball court that those guys are on, because they were senior 6s, you are a senior 1. You just the best you can do is watch. Other than that, you don't step there. But nonetheless, that's where I started. Beautifully, or I would say lucky for me, that when I was playing with those guys, once in a while when they could see me about midday 1, when the sun is very hot, when they are still resting and waiting to come. So when we would go to court and, you know, try a few shots here and there, and then they would come and they meet us, they would see what we are doing, and, you know, they would identify talent. I don't know if I can use that one. So, you know, one or another, they identified my talent. They realized I could at least throw in the ball. At any sport. They would just give it to me. Although I was weak, I didn't know how to bounce. They only told me one thing: throw in the ball. And throwing in the ball gave me an opportunity to play with them. When I was in Senior 1, Senior 2, but still, of course, I still had people who didn't believe in me, and it was challenging.
Welcome back. It is SlamDunk Basketball Talk, and in studio we're with Coach Mande Juruni and Emmanuel Ateng, and we were discussing the Silverbacks and how they are preparing, who are the new additions, which people have been dropped and for which particular reasons, and how the team is faring. Coach Mande, you have quite a very busy festive season. Let's talk City Oilers. You are in for the second round of the BAL Championship. First of all, congratulations on those 2 wins and getting to that second step.
Thank you. As City Oilers, our goal is to be in BAL in second edition. Last time we came short because of different reasons. But this time around, we want to be in BAL. We believe BAL is it's going to be one of the biggest leagues outside NBA. So we want to be part of that, and we believe that as City Oilers, we belong there. And in the long run, it's also going to help Ugandan basketball.
To Emma, we had a discussion here still on SlamDunk basketball. Remember when prior to City Oilers going for that first round, when the news reports of the additions to the team and how there was that discussion of Ugandan sport media is not being patriotic enough. It is doing the work of the opposition for them. This time around, what do you think should be done? Should they release the names of the new additions? Or?
Well, I'm not sure there are any new additions from the first round of the BAL qualifiers, unless coach has something up his sleeve that we don't know about.
Feel free, Coach Mande, to surprise the viewers out there.
Well, you know, BAL, the first qualifier is not as competitive as the second one, and even the final one is even more competitive. So as NBA and as FIBA, there's some rules that they put to allow teams to be competitive. Some of the rules, you have to have 2 African players. You have to have maximum of 4 non-Ugandans. Okay?
You can have 4 foreign players.
Foreign players.
Okay.
But 2 have to be African players. Okay. And then 2 can be any other nationality. That's why, you know, we try to beef up the team so that we are able to compete with the other teams. All teams do that. So in the first round, because we know it wasn't, you know, a very tough, you know, round, we didn't. We only had, I think, one player, a non-Ugandan, but was African descent. Second round, we definitely want to beef up the team again. Because we know other teams are doing that, and that second round is the round that actually takes you to BAL, and that's where we stopped last time because of you know, various reasons. As a team, as a club, we know where we went short last time, and this time around we want to change that. So
we want to even improve on that.
We'll definitely improve on the squad.
So we're looking at more additions on the team.
Yes.
Emma, I think you can make some guesses on which players this time might be seeing since coach has already confirmed that they'll be having more additions. What is your guess on who might be included?
Well, I can't say who's going to be axed from the team. Okay.
No, your guess, your opinion. It will be interesting.
I just want to see the new additions to the team. I know that City Oilers has a very good recruitment. Let me say policy. They don't just go picking everyone who plays well and, you know, they put them on the team. There's a structure I think they use, and everyone who has played for City Oilers really fitted well into that team. You know, kudos to the coaching staff, and it's going to be really exciting to see who they bring next. Okay, first round we had Okonkwo from Nigeria, very good addition. So it's exciting to always see what next. You know, what are we bringing for the second window? And it has reached a point whereby City Oilers now is almost like the Ugandan team. Okay, because they are the ones in BAL. So it's not like, oh, I'm a power supporter, I won't support City Oil because they're in BAL. No, once it comes to BAL, all of us become what? Definitely. City Oil supporters. It's now Uganda. So I believe that we're all excited to see the new additions that are going to come, and like coach said, they learned lessons from the last time, and I believe that this time, you know, we're going to push all the way through to the BAL actually itself.
That was something that very many people are anticipating, looking at how far the team can go and the competition that we have up against there, and also them making some other changes coming down here locally when it comes to, we're looking at teams trying to get back into action. That's just like we talked at the start of the show. Emma was talking about the invite, the tournament which is organized by Power Basketball to get players into some action. What is your take on our league resumption, and what do you think should be done differently when the league finally resumes next year?
Well, it's good to see that there's some basketball going on in the country. You know, kudos to Power and, you know, all these teams that are playing in the tournament. and obviously the second division teams that are also playing. So as a basketball lover, it's good to see basketball going on in the country. I think in the last 2 years just mainly been national team. But moving forward, I think everyone is looking forward to next season. And I think I think the federation is now doing a lot in making sure that all the SOPs will be put in place, and that players are vaccinated. I think one of the reasons why the league was stopped this year was because of the COVID situation that was beginning to escalate. So I think this time around, everyone has to play a part. It's not just about the federation. I think the teams, the players themselves, we all have to take care of ourselves. We know this virus is not only attacking this team or this player.
It cuts across.
It cuts across. So we all have to play our part. I'm sure the federation is going to play its part, making sure that the players are safe and the coaching team, and hopefully we'll have fans back in the stadium.
A particular section of fans, actually not fans, beg your pardon, a particular section of team managers would have a suggestion of having the league reduced and it being made shorter. What is your take on that? Then Emma will also tell me his take on that. If Falcons would also want the league to be shortened.
I don't know.
Teams, their suggestion is having teams play more games during the week, so that the league is, let's say, ended within a period of like 3 months. What is your take as a coach of City Oilers?
Well, I mean, if you're a fan, if you're a player, you want to play the whole year. Because if you play the league in 3 months, and then what happens after that? And a lot of these players, earn their living because they are playing. Some teams might stop, paying salary to these players because the league is not, happening. Is it because of the finances? That's why they want to make the league short. Personally, I think our league is okay the way it is. I would love to see even more games. To tell you the truth, we're only playing 22 games in a season. That is very, very little. We need to have more games for players, to play and even get better. Because as a country, we don't have so many tournaments. I think we only play the league. After the league, that's it. And what happens after that? Personally, I would love to see, the league, the way it is, or even played
much longer.
Much longer, yeah.
Emma, what is your take? Longer league, or they should be shortened?
No, just like Coach said, having a short league, from all perspectives, the fans, the players, it wouldn't really be good for the game itself. Okay, and let's give an example of, let's say, the marketing bit. Okay. You're going to a sponsor and you're telling them, okay, this is the league, this is what we want to run, but it's going to run in 3 months. Okay, it doesn't give them also that much visibility. Yet,
there's also the argument of it creates more intensity.
Yeah, it would create more intensity, but see, we're trying to build the basketball itself, not only the league. Okay, so the longer we have it running, the better it is for us in all aspects, for the players, for the national team, for the for the companies that are coming in to sponsor. So it would actually be nice if you see the structure that the NBA uses. It's a long league, 82 games. Okay, gives an opportunity for everyone to fully explore what they want. The players, the advertisers, everyone. Okay, so and then coming to next season, I think we have 14 teams now.
Yes,
yeah, we're going to have 14 teams.
It will be 14 teams.
Yeah, so 14 teams, if you're condensing the league, then it's really going to be hard to run. I would love to see the league actually run longer, if you can actually play more games. If we can't play more games in the league, then we should have more tournaments. I believe that back in the day, there were very many tournaments. Okay, you had the Falcon Invitationals, you had the Rhino tournaments, You had the All-Star game, Abelink, you know. Yeah. So we had a lot of basketball going on all around the year. But now we have been limited to only the league, okay? Yeah. And I mean, we need to play more games.
More games are needed.
Yeah, I mean, you can see, like, even in the NBA, they have conferences, and you play each team 3 times or 4 times. Here we're only playing 2 games, home and away. It's not good enough. I would love to see, you know, playing a team 4 times, for instance. I mean, we really need to have more games.
And then you really gauge yourself.
Yeah, we really need to have more games. Our players are not playing enough.
Coach, you've also handled a ladies team before.
Yes.
There's always been that talk, and it's a question that will always linger. In your opinion, ladies basketball, how can it be put up there?
You know, first of all, I'm looking at our national ladies team and also our clubs. Our national team, the ladies, you know, they've not been involved in any games in the last, what, 3 years maybe?
Yeah, I believe we're coming to 3 years.
Yeah, about 3 years. Part of it is, part of the problem is because of FIBA. FIBA doesn't have so many, you know, ladies international competition. They only play qualifiers and Afrobasket, and that's it. So keeping our ladies national team has been a very big, you know, challenge because we have very few games. But if you look at our clubs, our ladies teams, I think when we have played tournaments around the region, we've been, you know, the best in the last couple of years. Our ladies teams have been really doing so well. We have so many young girls out there who are really talented and play. I think, you know, maybe as a region we really have to come up with, you know, tournaments for these girls, you know,
to get them more exposure.
Yeah, to play. It's been unfortunate that, you know, COVID came in, and in the last 2 years, again, our ladies have not been playing a lot of basketball. And if the girls are not playing, you know, there's so many things that can happen in that period of time. But, you know, as a whole, our girls basketball is quite good. I think I would comfortably say that we have the best teams in the region when it comes to ladies basketball. I think we need to support them as much as possible. I've been involved, you know, ladies basketball. I've coached so many, you know, ladies teams, and you know, it's really fun, you know, coaching girls because, you know, they want to learn, they want to be better. You know, you see them working hard, and it's good, you know, to see our ladies, you know, play. I was happy to see our under-16 girls play in the Afrobasket. These are girls who are in school, and they've not been in school in 2 years, but you know, the federation and the coaches just managed to, you know, just get, you know, these girls, put them in a team for, and
they put their hearts
went out there and played. Yeah, so sometimes not even just about winning for them, but just getting that exposure and coming back home and knowing, okay, I think we really need to do this and that to improve. Yeah.
Coach, as we wind up, Emma, last questions for the coach.
Yeah, I think for going forward, City Oilers, you guys have already won 7 titles. Okay, and I had someone say that, City Oilers doesn't really care about the NBL
it's now
anymore. It's now something that you guys are more concerned about, international tournaments. Yeah. For the teams out there, okay, we have very many teams in the NBL. What is City Oil doing right that these other teams are not doing? Because we need to see more teams actually, you know, give you guys competition and also get to that international level. All right. So what are other teams not doing that, you know, they should emulate?
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. There's so many things. Definitely, you know, as a club, we are very ambitious. Okay. When we had just started this club, we said we wanted to be in Africa competition 5 years later.
Yeah.
But when we came in immediately, you know, we won the league, and we changed our mind that we don't want to think 5 years later.
5 years.
We want to start now. And because of that mindset that we want to be playing at the top level in Africa, that means you have to do so many things back here at home to be at that level. So we are very ambitious. Of course, to play at international level there, you have to be a powerhouse at home.
Yeah.
That's why we have to win for us to be able to play international, because those are the rules. If you're playing ball, you have to be a champion.
You have to be the champion
at home. Yeah, if you're not, then you can't play ball.
Yeah.
So we want to keep winning at home because we want to be in ball.
Yeah.
People say, "Oh, we win because we have money and all that." I really don't think it's about money. I can tell you that there are some clubs that play players better than, you know, City Oilers.
No, but that's not the perception that's about it's City Oil is the money bags in Ugandan basketball.
That's not true. I think clubs have to really look at themselves and see what they are doing wrong, where they are lacking. Is it the coaching staff? Is it the personnel, the players? Is it their training program? You know, there's so many things that you have to put in place for you to have a very good product. So we look at those. You know, we want our players to have accountability. You know, if you're not training, you've got to have a very good reason why you're not training. Okay, we hear stories. Some players, some clubs have some star players who don't show up for training. We can't have that in City Oil. You know, however big you are, we'll let you out.
Big game.
Yeah, we want our players to account for everything that they do on court. Okay, if you are a player who is supposed to be scoring, you know, 20 points for us, and you don't, you have to tell us why, you know, you're doing that. So we want to make sure that we know the reasons why you're not playing well. Is it because of coaching? Is it because of this? Is it because of, you know, we want to check everything and see that everything is accounted for. And the coaches, you know, if we lose a game, I can tell you that there are meetings that happen, and we have.
And what is the nature of those meetings?
The management has to know why. You know, why did we lose? You know, so you have to have reasons why, and they have to be good reasons. So that, you know, keeps us in check. Okay, for us to try and be at a high level player to always improve and progress. Yeah.
So basically, teams have to be more accountable, not just on court, but even off court. Everything
that you do on court, everything that you do as a coach, you know, as even management themselves. Sometimes we sit with management and we ask them, we are lacking this and this. Why aren't you doing that? Because that, you know, helps the team, you know, to play at a high level. Yeah. So it is not just players, but, you know, all departments have to elevate and work together.
As we wind up, perhaps you can tell the viewers out there when the team will be going to camp, when the foreign-based players will be coming in, or will they just be joining you later?
So the Silverbacks are going to start training on Monday, which this coming Monday, at Africa Bible University. Our first game is on the 26th, so that will give us about 10 days. 10 days to prepare the team. We plan to have those 10 days practice because we have a few players who are still engaged with their teams playing, so we can't have them for all the 10 days. We expect some of the players to start coming in next week. We're hoping by Wednesday, Thursday, we'll have a few players come in. Of course, that also bent on the finances. You've had
Hopefully
and
the
seen,
seen
the finance.
According to
we've seen the financial problems that we've had, but we are very grateful for the government of Uganda. I think they've really done a very good job supporting the national team. All the games that we've played, all the international games that we've played, wouldn't play them if it was not for the government. I think, you know, some people look at, you know, the negative things, but to tell you the truth, you know, us who are in the team and the management, we are very, you know, grateful for government, you know, supporting us up to now, and we are hoping that this time around they're still going to come and support us. Well,
hopefully we'll wait for that support. It has been Slam Dunk Basketball Talk. Coach Mande Juruni, thank you so much for your time. My name is Felix Eupal, my co-host Emmanuel Ateng. Till next time, the Silverbacks will be in action for the World Cup qualifiers, and also UC University were champions. We forgot to mention that at the start of the show, the Africa 3-on-3 University Championship. Have a blessed weekend. Till next time.